say, Lord, I want to come before you, and I want opening my heart to you. I want you to convince me more about this reality, that I will face you on that day. So let's just bow our heads. I just want you in your own way just to put this before the Lord and just say, I'm asking for you to convince me about this. Okay, about 6 years ago in May the date, I'm not sure, but I lost my son. Shelley and I lost Sam. Sam was our middle son. He'd be now 26 or thereabouts, 6'6.5", and very handsome, beautiful guy. And he was very good looking. He looked like his mother. Beautiful, beautiful guy. And what he used to do is he was a farmer down in south of Christchurch, and he was at the pub. He went to the pub, but he only ate pies. Anyway, when Mum would ring him at the pub, he would say this to her: "Hello, princess." And his mates would say, "Who are you talking to?" His mum. He so loved us. He so loved Shelley. And when we lost him, something there's a few things, but something changed my heart. I'd always lived with the thought, God, I want to live in the light of eternity. I want to make my life count in the light of eternity. And I never found that I really was very successful at it. I don't know if this is theological or not. And you get in trouble if it's not. Standing here. But anyway, I don't know if this is theological, but it was kind of like where your treasure is, that's where your heart is. And in a very real way, Sam going into eternity is kind of like my treasure. I know Jesus is meant to be my treasure, but in actual fact, I dearly love my son. And he's like a treasure in eternity. But you know what it's kind of made me do? Live a little bit more in the light of eternity. And sort of like what I do, and you might think I'm a bit weird. I mean, this might totally he's weird. But what I do is sometimes I go through my head, Lord, and I think about, what is it going to be like when I sit in that room with you? What is it going to be like? How is it going to be? And I try and make it adjust me on how I live here. So anyway, what I'm talking about next, I just want to move on now, and I just want to look about, because my job today is to talk about the hungry. I was hungry, and you fed me, and you gave me something to eat. And that's part of one of the things in this teaching of Jesus. And my question, is there poverty in New Zealand? Is there poverty in Pukekohe? And not in my house. But I want to tell you a story. Edna Bruce. Is Edna here today? No? Okay, well, I can say whatever I like about her. She's a teacher in Pukekohe North School, and she's been there for years. I want to let you into a little secret about what you do with your life. You can either do a job, or you can fulfill the destiny and the call of God on your life as a vocation, as a calling. Or you can just, I'm a teacher, I do my job. Love the weekends off, love the good holidays. No, but she is called by God, and the way you can tell someone is called by God is that they love what they do, and it rubs off on the pupils, and the pupils kind of respond, and there's a concern out of love for the pupils and where they're going with their life. That is totally what Edna's like. And I actually, when I was in the 7th form at high school, I had a French teacher that was a bit like this, and for my sins, I called him Super Squeak. I mean, the others called him Super Squeak as well. But anyway, what he did, he loved French. And he kind of liked us mostly. But it kind of rubbed off on us. I just love, you're so influential when you just don't think, this is my job and I do it. But think of what you do as a calling by God. That you've been ordained by God for it. And you, in a loving way, you connect with people and touch their lives. This is what I believe. Edna's like this. You know what happens? There's two stories. One story is this. There she was, playground duty. You've got to do it as a teacher. And she was just looking across the playground and she saw two kids next to a rubbish tin. And they were rummaging around in the rubbish tin to pick out a sandwich to eat. The other story is this. She loves the kids and loves feeding birds. No, seagulls. And so she has some old mouldy bread that she brought to school this day, and she sort of doshed it out to the kids in the class, and they went out and they started feeding the birds. Two of them started eating the bread. She went home and cried and cried and cried. Now, I don't want to get me wrong. There's, it's not sort of the soulful kind of, I'm so upset. But I tell you what her crying came out of is the Spirit of God that was in her inner being felt how God felt about those hungry kids. And the weeping that was going on in her heart was the Father heart of God. Let me tell you, weeping's not good enough. Weeping's not good enough. Actually, it sort of infringes when God's compassion and His Spirit starts touching you inside. What it does, it must, to be real and reality, affect how you act. And it did for Edna. You know what she did? She thought, I must start a breakfast program. And the way she did it is, the Red Cross, for decile 1 schools, that's the lowest decile, but then there's A, B, C, and D, and D's the lowest. Our Pukekohe North School is in the D category. They will actually give you free food as long as you can get volunteers. So Edna thought, okay, well, Pukekohe Lions, and then I'll put an ad in our bulletin here in this church. Shelley read the ad, and she thought, why not? Why not? And so we got together some teams, and Pukekohe Lions, then it sort of didn't really work for them. What is actually happening is our school, we go there pretty much as a church. There's other people apart from us go there on Thursday mornings. Now, the thing is I go there, and it does mean getting up a bit earlier. And actually, I've sometimes gone along and I thought, I wonder if these kids really are hungry. And you sort of watch them, and then I would say probably of the 60, probably 15 or 20 are definitely very hungry. You can tell. You can tell how they get the bread and get the Milo and eat and so on. And the other thing is this, it's all not like being goodies. I just couldn't stand it. You know what it's about? What I've gone there and done is I want to learn their names. And you're only going there once a week, and you're kind of in the zone, short-term memory loss problems, But I want to learn their names. And then I want to say something to them like, some of the girls that come in and help in the kitchen, I say to them, they're so good. I say, you're just like an adult, what you're doing. And they kind of go, ooh. Or I say to them, you're so good looking, the boys. I mean, I want someone to say that I'm good looking. Kids love it when they're told they're good looking. You know what? You start to